OCM. Good evening, everyone. Thanks tonight. Heichka for joining us tonight for the first evening session of the spring 2024 legislative session. I'm very grateful to be here with each and every one of you today. And I'm sure that we will have a very informative, enriching meeting full of healthy discussion and debate and moving forward for the benefit of our people. Thank you to Wapio and Kwikimosat for letting Splocton do the table song. And I want to acknowledge Splocton for sharing his voice and blessing our food and our plates with his powerful drum and his powerful voice and his song. We're ever so grateful for his guidance and leadership. And when he joins us and asks to share a song, we've been blessed. Heichka. I also want to thank Wapio and Kwikimosat for the ceremonial drumming. It's a wonderful way to start the session, and that good medicine that you bring with the drum and uniting our heartbeats together so we can work Natsamat as one for our people, for today and for our future generations. And we're really grateful for that medicine that you bring. Thank you, Heichka. And we're also very grateful for Yum's Catering for their delicious food. I'm especially happy with the custom heart pastry that we have for dessert. I appreciate the thoughtfulness and the detail in recognizing Valentine's Day and making an extra effort for our meal and for nourishing our bodies for this session. To nourish our spirits now, I would like to call upon respected Elder Costania to start our session with, in a good way, with an opening prayer. Heichka OCM.
Hello, everyone. It's my great honor to be here with all of our young legislators tonight, and all of the staff, and all of the visitors, and all of our members in the back. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, amen. Please, dear Creator, we had a beautiful day today, and everyone's had a rest from the last legislature. So as always, I ask you to bless all of the legislators, each and every one of them, the ones that talk and the ones that don't talk. They're all doing the same hard work of making the decisions and voting. And bless Chief and Executive, and bless all of our staff who put this work together. And I ask blessings on all of the new staff that have come to Tsawwassen First Nation, and I hope they have a good time learning our culture and becoming one of us, the way all of our staff is right now. They live with us, and they don't judge us, and they work with us, and they play with us even. So I hope that all of the new staff will be doing the same thing. We welcome you all in here to our First Nation. As an elder, I am so proud to be standing here with all of our legislators. They work so hard all the time, and all of the rest of us who work in the committees. So please bless this legislation, the first one in our spring, and bless all of the work that comes out of it, and bless all of the brand new little babies, dear Creator, because we're a growing nation. So bless all of those babies and make sure that they're all legalized, and make sure to from TFN. Okay, Creator, we don't want to miss any of our new babies coming in. And I thank you, Creator, for bringing all of our mothers and grandmothers, new family members here to Tsawwassen First Nations. Thank you, Creator, for our Chief and Executive, for having such big hearts to know that we don't leave anyone out, that it is not Tsuut'ina. We are all one. The ones who lived here all their life, and all of the ones coming home through their mothers and grandmothers, that we will all live here the rest of our life. Okay, Creator, so bless everyone here, and bless all of the work that everyone is doing for all the members of Tsawwassen First Nation. Bless the staff for them doing the work and having such good ears to understand what each and every one is asking for. And bless the ones that come here to look after the technician part. I know one, I can't do that, so thank you. So thank you, Creator, for this beautiful night. And thank you for this beautiful, blessed land that we all live on. Every day of our lives, every minute, it's such a blessing to be here and to be walking on the land that our ancestors walked on. Thank you, Creator, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen. All my relations. All my relations. All my relations.
Hajka Kustania, for your opening words. I'm always so grateful for your heartfelt prayers to the Creator, and the relationship that you have with the Creator, that I'm sure that he listens to you, she listens to you, they listen to you, because many good things have happened as a result of your good words. In a commitment to work hard on learning my language, I'm going to just try a welcome speech here. Asiam na siea e silachwa misap kukelam aktuasen yas nasqualowin quantus skaka alt Chlelap. Nansan u siatana sialawala. Uwath e soasmas sitsam satat ta soasin chelmuch. Hisapka siam nasiea. My most honored friends and elders, welcome to Tsawwassen. I'm happy to be amongst all of you. I want to express my appreciation to my elders for always helping me. I will thank the Tsawwassen people. Thank you, my respected friend and elders. Thank you for indulging me as I work to practice the language. I'm sure I made a few errors, but I will continue to work on learning the language, and I think the best way to learn it is to use it. So, Hajka. Um, I would like to again welcome all our legislators back to this table. And I am so looking forward to the good work that we're going to do. On Monday and Tuesday, we had our budget workshops, and they were a prequel, a trailer to the work that we're going to be doing during the session. So I am sure that it's going to be exciting. I want to welcome all the Tsawwassen people, the Tsawwassen members that are here in person and watching online, the staff that are present that are going to be part of the orientation session and that are presenting or just here. Any guests, welcome to you as well that are here in person or online. We're really grateful. Your support in person and online gives us the strength and the support to do the work that we do, knowing that you're there. Ryder Slade, welcome back. It was nice to walk up the stairs and to see you as our feather runner. You are becoming very proficient in this work. I would like to remind staff and legislators to wait until they have the feather before speaking, and then to pass the feather back to Ryder when you are finished speaking. A few other housekeeping things is reminder to put your phones on silent or vibrate. There'll be a little fine if your phone is on there when it'll go to the Elder or Youth Fund. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge and honor the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women March that happens every February 14th. I purposely wore red today to honor that. In my head, I'm singing the Woman's Warrior song. It's like a radio song. I can't sing by myself, but if someone's singing, I can join in. But it's a powerful song, and I listened to it on the way in my drive here for the Slenny and the other individuals that identify differently that have been lost to these tragic causes. But I appreciate the honoring ceremony, and I appreciate also the people that have always uplifted the memory and let us not forget the missing and murdered Indigenous women. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I also want to acknowledge loss in the community. Lost Elder Marion just late December, and a big loss for our community. Our Hualitzum relative, Lindsay, and other losses that we've faced. There's sickness and people that are hurting or not well, either spiritually, emotionally, or mentally, or physically, to lift them up, and that the work that we do today is to support them in their journey by giving them the tools to help them on their journey, and just to remember to walk softly for those people that are suffering right now, and to also give lots of support to people that are the family that are supporting them. It's a hard journey. We've got joyous successes with our family members in different areas, and I'd like us to remind ourselves to celebrate those too. I'd like to also share that Kuyakuya legislature Andrea Jacobs is not feeling 100% and did not want to share any germs that she might be having as a result of her not feeling well. But she is participating remotely via Zoom, so I'll remember to include her in the vote. Alex, remind me if I forget, so that she can still be part of the deliberations, and if she has something to say, she'll be participating in that manner. You'll notice that we have some different equipment. We're experimenting with doing our live stream and recording in a different way, and we're streaming to Vimeo today, so we're really moving on in the world here, but we appreciate the technology that's been provided by our media experts, and as we progress into making sure that all of our people on and off lands can participate and listen that want to. And finally, before we move into the business of the agenda, I want to acknowledge Chief Squamosat, Laura, is not well, and she sends her regrets and wants to just acknowledge the good work that's being done to set this up. She wanted me to acknowledge the staff that's worked really hard to organize the information, the setup, and wanted to acknowledge the legislatures for their work. She wanted to make sure I acknowledged the feather runner and the cooks, the drummers for the prayers, and she just regrets that she cannot be here. It takes a lot for Chief Laura not to participate in her role. And all the time I know her, she's always come. So she's not doing well. She's getting better. So we're going to also include her in our prayers. She's on the path to recovery, and she'll be having a surgery early next week sometime, I guess when the surgeon finds the appropriate time for her. So she's much better than she was, but she would be here if she could, and she wanted me to send her heartfelt regrets. So I think I've covered all the business that I needed to cover. So the first order of our formal business is to move the agenda for the spring 2024 session. During this session, we'll be considering two bills, Bill 001, 2024, the Appropriation Act, which represents the government's annual budget for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. 2024, I can't believe that it's 2024. My goodness. And additionally, Bill 002, 2024, the 2024 Land Amendment Act. And we've had some consultation with respect to that. We've had some workshops with respect to that. And that was discussed in the fall 2023 session. And the legislature agreed to bring it forward for consultation and engagement to bring it to the table today. We will also hear the annual report from the TFN Economic Development Corporation. Hear a major projects update from the Treaties Rights and Title Department. Hear an update on the Administration Facility Project. Hear reports from the Advisory Council on Bill 001, 2024 and Bill 002, 2024. We will also hear a report from the Leasehold Residents Advisory Committee on Bill 00, 2024, and we'll hear a report on previous legislature resolutions. And finally, we will also be holding the public service affirmation ceremony, which is how we typically start off each of our sessions. Also, towards the end of the session, legislatures, as usual, will have an opportunity to introduce resolutions. The date scheduled for introduction of resolutions is March 7th. March 7th. So make sure, legislatures, you put that into your calendar if you wish to table a resolution. And please speak to staff to help you out with any type of drafting of the resolution, any other parts of a resolution that you may need help to make sure that it is in order before you present it to the legislative table. Are there any questions on the agenda for this session, legislatures? All right, seeing none, I will now read the text of the motion and then ask for a mover or a seconder. And when it comes time to vote, I'll ask for a raise of hands and raise them high for your yes vote or your no vote. And then Andrea Jacobs, I will ask you for a verbal yes or no after everybody else has raised their hands, okay? Motion to approve the spring 2024 legislative agenda. Whereas Section 15 of the Tsawwassen Legislature Rules and Procedures requires the legislature to present an agenda for a legislative session. Therefore, be it moved that the Tsawwassen Legislature approves of the following session agenda. Legislation, Bill 001, 2024, the 2024-2025 Appropriations Act. Bill 002, 2024, the 2024 Land Amendment Act. Reports. Reports from Advisory Council on Bill 001, 2024. Report from Advisory Council on Bill 002, 2024. Report from Leaseholder Residents Advisory Committee on Bill 001, 2024. Report on past legislative resolutions. Update on major projects from the Treaty Rights and Title Department. Update on Administration Legislature Facility Project from the Lands Department. Report from the Tsawwassen Economic Development Corporation. Resolutions, opportunity for legislatures to introduce resolutions. Other, public service affirmation ceremony. All right, I'll ask for, I need a mover. Legislature Marianne Adams, seconder. Legislature Tehuilam. That's okay. All right, we're good. That's okay. Tehuilam. Legislator Bryce Williams. All right, all in favor, please raise your hands. All against? Andrea Jacobs, Kuyakuya, Legislature.
I'm in favor.
Heichka, the motion was passed unanimously. Thank you very much. The agenda has been approved. So following the agenda that we have for tonight, we will have open remarks for all legislatures. Then we will proceed to our public affirmation ceremony for our new employees. And following that ceremony, we will have the first reading for Bill 001-2024, the Appropriations Act, including an overview presentation from staff. And finally, we will vote on to move Bill 001-2024 to second reading as independent schedules. That's it for this agenda. All right, are there any other questions or comments on tonight's agenda? Excellent. All right. I would now like to invite legislatures to take 2 or 3 minutes to make their opening remarks, starting on my left. And then I will invite Legislature Kuyakuya to speak right after Legislature Halkamatia. All right, Legislature Tees Thalot, you're always first.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you to the drummers and the singers and the catering and our elder for the prayers. And I'm sorry. I'm thinking that this is going to be a good session. And welcome to all our guests. Thank you to all the staff that have put this all together for their hard work. Thank you.
Heichka Ryder for the Feather. Good evening, everybody. It's great to see you all tonight for our first meeting of the spring session legislature. For our new staff and for those who have joined that don't know me, my name is Taylor Baker and I'm a member of Executive Council and Legislature. And to our new staff, welcome to TFN, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. I would also like to thank Yums Catering for a delicious meal, and also to Ryder, one of our youth, for being the feather runner tonight. And thank you to Angeline Kukimasat and Frank Wapio for drumming us in, and Questania for the opening prayer, and Spockton for the table song. And thank you to all of our elders in attendance tonight who are here witnessing this important work. I'm also looking forward to the discussions over the next few weeks on TFN's 2024 to 2025 Appropriations Act. The Finance and Audit Committee, along with directors, and most notably Mark, worked very hard on this year's budget. And I'm really impressed that staff have truly listened to our members and our community's needs, because it clearly shows in our budget with the new programming and the new staff positions that are proposed, where our members have requested to fill these gaps. So many Heichkas for the hard work and the collaborative work that's been done. And also thank you to the Advisory Council for the important feedback and recommendations that you continuously give to us in order for us to continue the good work. And finally, I'd also like to acknowledge our Chief Squamish, Laura Cassidy, who is ill and unable to join us today. So sending light, love, and healing and energy her way to the road to recovery. Heichka.
Heichka Ryder for the Feather. It's grateful to be back at the table here sitting for our spring session. We have a lot of work to do, and I look forward to hearing from everybody around the table and everyone's comments, questions, and input. We have Anti-Bullying Day coming up, and it's so important to lead by example. The more kindness, compassion, and support we can show, it can leave such a rippling effect, positive impact, contagious. We've had some good news today, and I just feel good for starting our session off in such a good way. And yeah, I look forward to being here with everybody, and HK.
Heichka Squeakosiam, Heichka Rider for the Feather. Very happy for your family's good news today. I just want to welcome everybody tonight and send out thanks to Yum's Catering for the delicious dinner, and to our drummers and singers. Hands go up to you. You definitely carry our heartbeat. And to our elder Ruth Squania for the prayer, the opening prayer. She's always got good words. And thank you to all the staff for putting all this together, and so happy to be sitting at the table again with my fellow legislators. And has to go up to our Squeakle, do an awesome job. It makes our job easier. You thank everybody and you don't forget anybody, so I just got thanks for that. And gonna be carrying a little bit of the workload for my sister tonight, and she's really wishing she could be here, but she's thankfully with a lot of talking, taking everybody's advice and putting her health first for a change. And just very excited to welcome the new employees to Tsawwassen First Nation, and excited to work on this budget, get it passed, and so we can continue doing the hard work for Tsawwassen First Nation. Heichka.
OCM Heichka. Ryder, we're going to ask Legislature Kwiakwia Andrea Jacobs, who is on Zoom, for her opening remarks. Legislature Andrea?
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
I actually found one of my my feathers, so I brought it out to speak. It feels strange doing this on Zoom without one. So just want to thank you for allowing me to participate virtually, and to Jen and our AV staff for helping set up. I'm going to try this. My daughter and son have been teaching me how to speak a little bit. So I'm going to try and introduce myself. Kuya Thanasqueeth Talitsan Adol Tsawwassen is how far I've gotten so far. Everyone, just want to thank everybody for allowing me to participate virtually. Just resting to try and be better sooner than later. I've learned to slow down a little bit. I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to take up too much time. I just want to thank everybody, and look forward to seeing everybody in person when I'm there. Heichka Squeakosiam.
Heichka Kwiakwia, Legislature Kwiakwia, thank you for trying the language. The more we try, the more it's going to become fluent in our community. Feather Runner Ryder, we'll invite Blocked. Legislature blocked to it.
The red button. Do I push this? Yeah. Okay. Anat Anta speloctuit, Terry Tanash, Manitamoth, Nasquich, Aitnash Qualwan E. Quanatol of Twellup. Respected elders and friends, my ancestral name is Speloctuit. Terry is my English name. I am happy to be here together with you. Welcome and thank you to all those in the gallery and those viewing on live stream for joining us here today. We are grateful to have you sitting here with us, whether in person or virtually. And welcome to our new staff members. Looking forward to hearing your affirmation. And a warm welcome back to Ryder, our feather runner. I extend my appreciation to Sialachua Spelocton for singing the table song, and thank you to Yum's Catering, and to Wapio and Kuikimosat for singing us into our ledge, and Haichka to Sialachua Questania for your prayer. And before I forget, I want to extend the invitation to my fellow legislators for the anti-bullying workshop that will be held at the Youth Center on Wednesday, February 28th. Dinner is at 5 p.m. And Haitsapka Netsiam Natsiya.
Okay, Haichka Ryder. And Squeakle, thank you. And the last words you said the other night, do not be late. And I was not late, Haichka. So just want to acknowledge all the people that have worked to get this meeting together, the people that are feeding us, the drumming, the singing, and the feather runners. I'm camera shy, so I'm not going to say anything more. Bye.
CM Yoth Ewan Zet Tuch Whalem, Thunisqui Talitzin, Yoth Swasson Mistech. Good evening, everybody. My name's Bryce Williams. My Haida name's Yoth Ewans, which translates to Big Raven. I share that with my Uncle Errol from up in Haida Gwaii. And my ancestral name is Tuch Whalem, and I share that with my late grandfather and his father before him. Just want to say hi to everyone for being here. Mitsapu Kwalem, welcome here. Hi to the cooks, Yum's Catering, hi to Elder Ruth for the prayer, and hi to our drummers, Wapio, Kokimasot, and Splockton for their drumming and singing. I really always love to listen and learn, and it's always a great way to open our legislature. Hands up to our feather runner. Really look forward to seeing him around the session and doing that good work. Hi to staff for helping to put together this sitting of the legislature. It's a lot of important work happening. Hi to everyone for taking the time to be here and to do this important work to benefit current and future generations for Tsawwassen First Nation. Last but not least, shout out to my sis, Ska Swanson, and her partner, Captain. I'm a proud uncle to her new baby daughter. Yeah, my niece's name is Kayuli. It's a Hawaiian name, so pretty happy for her. So hi to everyone.
Thank you, Squeako. Thank you, Ryder, for the feather. Just like to thank thank for Mark and all the guys, the crew for getting this budget prepared. And I'd like to thank Young's Cooking for the meal and Ruth for the prayer. I'd like to thank Frankie and Angeline and Terry for the songs. You could really feel it comes from your heart and how powerful your voice is for everybody. Thank you, Hachka.
Heichka for the feather and Heichka Squeakle. My name is Melinda Cassidy. I'm a legislator. My traditional name is Squamia. And I too would like to echo all the thanks to Yum's Catering and the Heart Desserts and to Ryder the Feather Runner, to Wapio and Kwekwemasat. I hope I pronounced that right, for drumming, to Kwestania for the opening prayers, to the Finance and Audit Committee for all of and the directors and managers for all the hard work that goes into preparing this budget for us, and to the Advisory Council, who also take the time to go through the budget and provide their comments, to the Chief and Executive Council, my fellow legislatures, all of the guests here, attending in person and virtually. And I would also like to welcome all the new staff. I'm really looking forward to debating and voting on this upcoming budget and the possible amendments to the Land Act. And Heichka.
Heichka Squeakle Sam and Heichka Ryder for the feather. And thank you for being here tonight to help us. And I came in a bit late, I'm sorry, but I just also want to say thank you to Yum's Catering. I'm going to try and get something. I don't know if I missed my chance, but I'm grateful anyways. Thank you, Wapio and Kwekwemasat and Splocton for the songs tonight. They were very beautiful, and it's the medicine that keeps us going. And my grandmother, Kwestania, for the opening prayer. It keeps us strong as we do this work. And welcome to all the new staff. And thank you to your families for allowing you to be here tonight. And I get to work closely with a lot of you, so I can say and vouch that we got a lot of good ones here. And thank you to everyone watching in the gallery and online, and to all the staff that puts this together. I can honestly just stand up and just say thank you to every single person in this room, because that's just how much hard work goes into this. And also want to send healing prayers to Chief Squamsat and to anyone else who may need it. And congratulations to the Slade family as well. Heichka Siam.
Heichka Squeakle Siam and Heichka Ryder for the feather. Aitzreal Lacolia Donasqui. It's good to be back and nice to see everyone, and welcome to all the new TFN employees. There's been a lot of good and new and interesting work take place in our community this past year, and a lot more to come in this new fiscal year. So just looking forward to this upcoming budget session. Heichka.
Heichka legislatures, for your opening remarks. It's always so inspiring to listen to the passion and the commitment and enthusiasm for the work, the hard work that this legislative table never shies away from, and the gratitude that this table feels for all of the input and the compassion that we feel for each other for when we're suffering when we're celebrating things of joy as well. And so it's such an honor to be here. Chamquat Tanasqui Talitzin Aktawasin. My ancestral name is Chamquat, and I'm from Tawasin. And I'm proud to carry my ancestral name, and I'm grateful for everyone that makes an effort to use the ancestral names so that our names are our names. They're not the and the. Those are our names, and I'm really grateful that we practice that. I'm grateful that we practice our language when we can, one small sentence, one small word at a time. And thank you to Terry, Legislator Terry, for supporting me and providing me the tools to try to practice. I just want to just again speak share some words that Chief Squamish did share with me, and they kind of echo. It was appropriate that you shared that, Legislator Lacolia. She's grateful for all of the hard work and all of the accomplishments that have happened in this last fiscal, and she was very reflective about the many things that this community, that this legislature, this executive council, this government, and all the bodies that participate in it has accomplished. And she's very proud of how this group of people work so well together with diverse opinions, but respectfully, and how we embrace our culture to advance the work. And I think that's what makes us successful, is the blending of our culture, our teachings, with modern governance. And so I wanted to share a few words that Chief Squamish had shared with me when she said that she reluctantly could not come. And she was still trying to sneak a peek with the work here, even though she's supposed to be resting. But Kim shut it down so that she can just focus on the rest instead of working on her healing. So I'm really grateful to be here. I want to thank my federal legislatures, my relatives, and our members for allowing me the honor and privilege of being the Squeakquel. We all know that I'm not very talented artistically. We know that I really can't carry a tune, but we know I have the gift of the gab. So this is an appropriate role for me to be in the time that I'm here. So I'm very honored to be here. But let's get going on the business that we have at hand here. Where am I on this agenda? Opening remarks. Thank you, legislators, for your remarks. Chief also asked me to, her sister Halka Mattia is going to do some other duties for the chief. I'm going to be working with our human resources manager, David, for the public service affirmation ceremony. So now, I guess I'd like to call up David to begin the ceremony.
Aichka, Squeakquel CM. Under Section 14 of the Government Employees Act, we ask all new employees to participate in a Tawasin public service affirmation ceremony. The ceremony must include a pledge of honor, respect, and confidentiality. The purpose of the ceremony is to ensure that the employee understands that they are making a commitment to Tawasin First Nation, and that the employee pledges to honor and respect Tawasin members, history, and culture. To ensure that the employee understands the importance of confidentiality when under employment with Tawasin First Nation. To provide the employee with a basic working knowledge of the governance structure of Tawasin First Nation necessary for their employment. To provide the employee with basic working knowledge of the Tawasin First Nation community and its history and culture. And finally, to provide the employees with acts, plans, policies, and other documents with critical information about the goals of Tawasin government and rules and expectations governing their employment. At this point, I would like to ask Executive Councillor Halka Mattia, Louise Alm, to say a few words on behalf of Squamish Chief Cassidy before we continue.
Aichka Squeakquel CM, Heichka Ryder for the feather. Thank you, David, and welcome to our new employees. The Tsawwassen people have exercised sovereignty authority over Tsawwassen lands for thousands of years. The Tsawwassen people now exist as part of two worlds, traditional and modern day. Our treaty effective date, April 3rd, 2009, reasserted our inherent right to self-government and to instituted a system where our two worlds can coexist. One of these laws requires that new employees participate in an affirmation ceremony and make a public service pledge to Tsawwassen First Nation and to Tsawwassen members. By making this pledge, new employees acknowledge their responsibilities and affirm their intent to work to the best of their abilities on behalf of Tsawwassen First Nation. This pledge is meaningful to our members, and I hope it is meaningful to all of you as well. Welcome to Tsawwassen First Nation team. Heichka.
Heichka Halkamatia. I briefed them on the motion to gather over here. So we have 7 new employees with us tonight who were hired since last Legislative Assembly. I'll ask each of these new employees to step forward and give a little wave before they walk over to meet where the chief would normally be at the table over here. Normally the chief would sign the oath, but I believe in the chief's absence, we will have the chief sign it on another day, but you will still sign it. And then I will do a brief introduction of each of you, and then I'll gather you all together, and then we'll read the oath. I'd like to start with the introductions with Shannon Sterling. You can just walk over towards there. Thank you, Shannon. So Shannon joins the PIGA team, the Policy and Intergovernmental Affairs team, as our new Intergovernmental Relations Coordinator. She recently worked as a policy analyst in the Strategic Policy Team in the Department of Fisheries and Oceans Canada and Global and Northern Affairs Bureau. She has a Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology with over 5 years of relevant experience. Welcome, Shannon. There's your, there you can go right back. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Angelita De Leon. She's our new Assistant Controller in the Finance team. She's a chartered professional accountant and has a master's in business administration. She brings more than 8 years of experience in financial accounting, budgeting, financial analysis, and review. Welcome, Angelita. I'm going to skip, there's an employee there that couldn't make it tonight, so they will be attending next session. So next we have Leah Monroe. She's our lands assistant in the lands department. She's a member of the Opaskwayak Cree Nation in Manitoba. Prior to joining TFN, she handled administrative functions as an elementary school secretary. She also has worked as an educational assistant and early childhood educator. Welcome, Leah. Introducing Dalton Jones. He's our new substance use support coordinator working in the health and family services teams. He has worked as a homeless outreach team coordinator for the Progressive Housing Society in Burnaby. Before that, he worked as a homeless outreach worker for the Progressive Housing Society as well. He has a Bachelor of Arts degree with a minor in psychology. Welcome, Dalton. Next, we have Elizabeth Cullimore. She's our new Economic Development Project Administrator in the Economic Development Department. She comes to us from the Surrey School District, where she worked as an administrative services team leader and clerk. She has completed her Certificate of Business Management at Kwantlen Polytechnic University and is currently in the progress of obtaining her diploma in the same area of study at KPU. Welcome, Elizabeth. I'd like to introduce Sophie Thomas. She joins our PIGA team as a policy analyst. She has a Master of Arts in International and Intercultural Communications. She's currently working towards obtaining her doctorate of philosophy from UBC. Prior to joining TFN, she was a research and special projects coordinator with the City of Port Moody. Welcome, Sophie. Our final introduction is Shauna Clements. She's our new intergovernmental relations analyst in the ever-growing PIGA team. She's a member of the Métis Nation of Ontario. Since being called to the bar in 2018 and becoming a lawyer, the majority of her work has been focused on Indigenous child welfare. She most recently worked as a First Nation representative with an Ontario First Nation. Welcome, Shauna. And now, I believe you all should have, thank you, Hachka, a copy of the oath, and I'm going to ask you all to read it together. I'm going to count and then have you slowly and methodically read your oath. 1, 2, 3.
Hachka.
Thank you, Hachka. This concludes this session's new employee affirmation ceremony. Hachka.
Hachka, thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you. Welcome to our team. I have to say, though, that sounded like the voices in my head. Well, very happy to be welcoming officially welcoming our team members to our Tsawwassen family to do the good work for our Tsawwassen people. I think it might be appropriate to take a 5-10 minute break, I think, as we sort of get ready to move on to the next part of the business. All righty. Legislature Andrea, we're reconvening, just to let you know. Before we reconvene for our next part of our agenda, I just want to invite Legislature Spalaktowit Terry. She had one more thing that she wanted to share.
Squeakquel, and thank you for the runner. I forgot to add that I'm going to try and volunteer again for the International Women's Day, and that Jessica Adams said that she would volunteer with me. So I believe it is March 8th. So I just wanted to let you guys know, mark your calendars. Hi, Zepka.
Haitchka Legislature, really appreciate stepping up to do that important work. I know that the Slunny that do come really enjoy the work that happens in the gathering and the laughter and all of that activity. So to thank you, hands raised up to you and Jessica for advancing that carry on, picking up that that torch that had been carried for so long by Skiljade Merle Williams. So thank you, Haitchka. All right, we're going to move into the first reading of our 2024-2025 Appropriations Act. And I would like to call upon Legislature Halkamatia to introduce the bill.
Haitchkas Guikosiam and Haitchkas Rider for the Feather. On behalf of Chief Swanisett, I'm going to share some words on her behalf. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Executive Council, I'd like to begin by thanking all the Tsawwassen people who are joining us, as well as staff who have gathered to support us. I want to thank my fellow Legislative Assembly members. Preparing for this first meeting of the spring session is not an easy task. You're spending time away from your friends, from your family, your children, your responsibilities. We are very appreciative of your commitment to us and helping us make these important budget decisions. This budget for the new fiscal year 2024-2025 is the most vital law we pass every year in the Tsawwassen Legislature. This budget allows us to carry on in our valuable work that we do for our members and their families. Together, Executive Council and the Finance and Audit Committee have worked diligently to create a budget which we are confident will continue to promote the interests of all of our people and to continue to see our operations successfully implemented through this fiscal year. I am also pleased to say that this budget was drafted in response to the input we have heard from members about gaps in our programs and services and staffing. Your input over the last year and continued engagement with the TFN government has been essential. We are grateful for your continued efforts to support your families, communities, and nation. As with previous fiscal year, we can proudly say that we continue to see a range of facility plans progressing successfully along with new programs and infrastructure, services, and job opportunities. This budget was drafted with the best interests of the membership at the heart, and we look forward to discussing its merits with our respected legislators. I will now read the motion to introduce Bill 001, the 2024-2025 Appropriations Act, where the Finance and Audit Committee has responsibility of developing the annual budget for review by Executive Council under Section 13 of the Finance Administration Act. And whereas Executive Council has the authority to approve the annual budget for the 2024-2025 fiscal year under the authority of Section 21 of the Financial Administration Act. And whereas the annual budget must be submitted to the Tsawwassen Legislature before the third Monday in February. And whereas Executive Council has reviewed and approved the 2024-2025 annual budget, Bill 001-2024, the 2024-2025 Appropriations Act, we are recommending its approval to the Tsawwassen Legislature. Therefore, be it moved that Bill 001-2024, the 2024 for 2025 Appropriations Act be introduced to the Tawasin Legislature's consideration, debate, and approval.
Haichka Halkumatia, and Haichka for sharing the words of Chief Squamish. Halkumatia has moved this motion. Do I have a seconder? Legislature Spalaktuit is seconding it. I'll ask for a show of hands, and then I'll ask Andrea after. In a show of hands, all in favor to introduce Bill 001, 2024, please raise your hands. All right. Those were all of the hands on the table. Andrea?
I am in favor.
Haichka. Thank you, legislatures. The motion has passed to introduce Bill 001, 2024. I would now like to call upon the Director of TALA, Finance and Corporate Services, Mark Demella, to give us a brief overview, Mark. And we'll limit your dad jokes to one dad joke of Bill 001, 2024. Mark?
Haichka Squeakle CM, Haichka Writer for the Feather. I'm going to try for no dad jokes. Squeakle, it might be a first, but we'll see. So the 2024-2025 Appropriations Act, which you've just introduced, is really the basis for TFN's operation for the coming year. When we structure our budget, to cover services to everybody who lives on Tawasin lands. Those are the local government services, very typical of a municipality. And we also have services to members, whether they are on TFN lands or in other parts of the country or in the US. So those member services are available only to TFN members and not to anyone else. If you think of our budget, it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle that fits together. There's local government operations, which are encompassed in Schedules 1, 2, 3A, 3B, and 4. The local government capital is in Schedule 5. The member operations are in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 13, and member capital is in 12. Today I'll be doing a very quick overview. In the weeks to come, I guess the sessions to come in the next few weeks, those schedules will be presented in much more detail, and there'll be opportunity to review and ask questions and debate. So overall, this year's budget is over $60 million, pretty much 70, with a little over 60% on member expenditures and 38% for local government. If you look at a 10-year trend, one of the things you'll see is that our focus on member expenditures has increased quite a bit. And that's been a function of increased revenues that we've been able to get for member services. On the local government side, we're budgeting a shortfall. We've been budgeting a shortfall for a number of years. So if you look at the graph, the red bar is revenues that we project. The gray-brown bar is our budgeted expenditures. And you'll see that we've budgeted to spend more than we take in for pretty much every one of the last 8 to 10 years. If we were a municipality, we would not be able to do that. But we have greater flexibility, thankfully. And we budget a deficit, but we, in the past, haven't actually run an actual deficit because our management staff are really good at ensuring that we're very careful, but only spending money when we need to spend money. So on the revenue side for the coming year, we are anticipating a conservative $2.5 million more in revenues. I'll cover that off in a little bit more detail. We're expecting a relatively small increase in property taxes at this point in time. We don't have our final assessment numbers yet, so we've been quite conservative. By the end of March, we will likely have our assessment numbers, and then typically by May, our tax policy is set. I would anticipate that we'll probably see somewhere in the neighborhood of another $500,000 or so higher revenues than we've budgeted from property taxes. But again, we just end up being a little bit conservative when we budget. Utilities is what we charge our leasehold residents for water consumption, the use of the sewer system, and garbage collection. Because of growth, we're factoring a little over $300,000 in increased revenues. Our development fees are expected to grow slightly this year, but development levels are relatively steady now. The last few years, TFN's been one of the fastest growing jurisdictions in the province and probably in the country, but that rate of growth has slowed down a bit, and therefore our revenue increases have slowed down. Our largest increase in revenues, though, are in the other category. It's fairly well known that interest rates, because of inflation, interest rates have been increased to try and keep a handle on inflation. And while that's a challenge for people who borrow, for TFN, who has a fair bit of money in the bank, that's meant a significant increase in interest revenues, almost $2 million a year. So between that and increased bigger capacity funding that we got from the province, we have almost $2.2 million off our $2.5 million in total new revenues. While our revenues have gone up $2.5 million, we are anticipating a slightly higher increase in our expenditures. So the net deficit has grown by about a couple of $100,000. So why is that? One of the reasons is that the budget as a whole, not just on the local government side, but on the member side of the budget too, incorporates a 5% COLA increase, cost of living allowance. As well, some staff had salary adjustments during the current year. That was because TFN undertook a system-wide review of salaries to ensure that we were paying our staff at a reasonable rate compared to other jurisdictions. And so a fair number of staff, especially at the lower end of the scale, had some salary increases. So all of that has been incorporated into this budget. We have also built into this budget 5 new staff members on the local government side. You met 3 of them today. Policy staff, those have been covered from the new grant funding from the province. We're also looking to hire a new manager of communications, having heard loud and clear from the membership that we need to significantly up our game on the communications front. That position is being funded 50% from local government and 50% from member services. And then we've incorporated into this budget an asset management technician to work with our engineering services or municipal infrastructure department. As we grow and take on more and more infrastructure, managing our assets and their maintenance and replacement is increasingly important. And so that is something that we're trying to address. You will hear a little bit more when we do our Schedule 1 presentation about IT cost increases, specifically for software and hardware, where increases in pricing means extra cost for us. But we're also spending a bunch more money on IT security enhancements, because I'm sure everybody is aware that there are more and more instances of hacking and attempts to infiltrate IT systems. And so we continue to enhance our security posture, and that means more investment in IT security. We're looking to implement a new contract management software system that our legal department will speak to when they do their presentation. We're also looking to improve our SharePoint Online presence. The expenditure in this area is meant to help with better collaboration amongst staff, and I think more importantly, the ability for us to store and find documents, because records management is becoming increasingly important and a major time saver, we hope. Today we spoke about new cameras, better sound system, and tech to improve the live stream experience at Ledge. The nation does a lot of really good work around this table, and I'm sure anybody watching is going to really appreciate the changes that we've made. At least I hope so. Maybe this is my one dad joke opportunity. But if it doesn't work out, guys, we might have to cut the budget next year. We're going to spend some more money on the 15-year treaty review. That is a really important milestone as we come up to our 15th year anniversary. And the other two increases you'll hear about again when our municipal infrastructure department presents. Those are increases in the cost of utilities, most of which will be recovered through utility fee increases, but generally those are due to volume increases and just growth in general. And then finally, our agreements with Delta for policing and fire are going up again as our infrastructure costs, as our infrastructure grows, our cost to service policing and fire both go up too. On the member side of the budget, you'll see that we have almost no deficit. It's about $600,000, which I suspect will be in the black by the end of the year. But what you will notice is a very large increase in revenues and expenditures from last year to this year. Our revenues are up over $12 million, and that is fabulous because we're going from 29 million to 40, and that allows us to provide way better servicing to members. So $2.3 million of that is from our fiscal financing agreement with Canada. These are revenues that fund modern treaty nations, and there's a recognition that the FFA needs to continue to grow because it's been underfunded for many years. We're planning with assessment growth for a relatively minor increase in the educational equivalency. Again, once our final assessment numbers are in, I'm hoping that this goes up several $100,000. We are projecting another $200,000 for GST revenue sharing. This is now up to $2.6 million a year. And I would just mention to legislators and to TFN members who are watching, there have been questions about TFN perhaps looking to reinstate the GST exemption for members in the same way as we were able to reinstate our PST exemption. Our PST revenue sharing was roughly $200,000. This is $2.6 million. If we were to give up $2.6 million in revenues, members would have to purchase over $50 million worth of taxable goods on TFN lands for us to offset that 2.6 million. And they'd have to do it every year. So that's a very unlikely scenario. And so for all of membership, it actually is much more positive for us to continue with members paying GST, us getting back the revenues that can go into services to members. We will see through presentations from our Health and Social Services Department and our Education, Language and Culture and departments, and then our member housing group, that there are a fair number of increases in the grants in those areas, all of which have been put to very good use in the budget. And then finally, we have budgeted some substantial increases from our trusts. We're anticipating an increase from our legacy trust as we put in a significant amount of money from the 20-acre land sale land lease last year. But also through the negotiations that have happened over our agreements with the federal government and the port for offsets related to RBT2, we're expecting $30 million that will go into our Fisheries Stewardship Trust, and that money will generate somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.5 million every year for the foreseeable future to fund remediation work and other environmental works that can be undertaken by the TFN Stewardship and Sustainability or Natural Resources Department and our Treaty Rights and Titles Department. So you'll again hear about those presentations. Our the $12 million has pretty much gone into new services. So we're planning a bunch of new staff. With all of the growth, and especially the growth in money for stewardship and sustainability and treaty rights and titles, we will be hiring a new director of territory management who will coordinate those two departments. We'll also be hiring a new director of strategic initiatives. They will take on communications and a number of other very significant files. We will be implementing, because the new Elder Center will be completed in the new fiscal year, The fabulous new facility will need programming, so we are adding 3 new positions to support an expanded elders programming in that new building. We heard loud and clear from membership that while we've been doing an excellent job for youth and an excellent job for elders, the age group in between, which our Director of Member Services euphemistically calls the middle agers, we need to up our programming in that area. So we've got 2 new positions to support recreational programming and events and try and address that gap. And we have gone from 1 manager in our Health and Social Services department to 2 because the work there is becoming increasingly complex and difficult for 1 person to manage. We will be maintaining, the budget maintains the quarterly distributions at $1,000. But in this budget, we have added a $500 extra amount to be distributed in December. Excuse me a sec. Apologies, Squeakle CM. I'm not used to talking so much, obviously. The member financial benefits section of the budget is a bit lower than it was last year. As you'll recall, legislators, we introduced a number of new elders programs last year. And when we introduced those new elders programs, there were a bunch of catch-up payments that we put into the budget. We don't need those transitional payments this year, so we're back down a little bit lower. But all of those programs are being maintained. As I mentioned, we've got a lot of new money, $1.5 million to spend on environmental mitigation and offset programs. So you'll hear a lot about those. And then when our legal counsel presents on Schedule 7, she will speak to why the Cowichan litigation costs are lower. But essentially, that has helped save us several $100,000. And there's more. We're putting more money into post-secondary funding, which is fabulous news because more and more TFN members are pursuing post-secondary education, and the nation continues to support them. There is money in for the new cultural hub. We are increasing psychology costs as the uptake of that program by membership has been really well received. And we've also budgeted for a second respite home. So in the past, we had 1 respite home for youth and children. And now we've separated it because it makes more sense to have a home for children and then have younger adults in a separate facility. There's additional money for community safety initiatives. We've expanded the community farm program, and we're providing increased support for member housing, including higher servicing grants. But the good news doesn't end there, Squeakle CM. On the economic development front, we will be providing increased support to our member businesses through higher member business development grants. We're going to be spending a bunch of money on short-term leasing consultation because by getting some support in that area, we can lease land over shorter periods rather than just the longer-term leases that we've been doing, generate more money again for the nation that goes to the Legacy Trust. And then finally, we're looking at support for our real estate strategy and support for trying to get member businesses involved more in the many projects that are happening within the TFN traditional territories. If there wasn't so much good news, I wouldn't be continuing so long as Squeakle CM. That is it, though. I think in the sessions to come, there will be some really good presentations, and I hope that not just the legislators, but that TFN members will really be proud of what we intend to accomplish in the coming year. Hajka Squeakle CM.
Heitske, Mark, thank you so much for your high-level overview of what this year's Appropriation Act is going to support and the programs and the delivery. Really appreciate that, to give us that sort of prequel, if you will, about what we're going to be debating about throughout this session. Legislatures, as a reminder, we are in the first reading, which is about clarification of the bill. All debate about the bill itself and the respective schedules will take place during the second reading. But I must ask you, as a matter of procedure and protocol, are there any clarifying questions that you wish to table with respect to tabling the first reading of this bill? All right, I'm just checking the Zoom here, and there's no hands, no little hand raised by Andrea. Therefore, I would like now to refer the bill to the Advisory Council for study and ask for a motion to move the bill to a second reading. And I would like to call upon Legislator Laqualia to move, to read the motion to move the bill 001-2024 to second reading.
Hajka Squeakle CM. Thanks, Ryder, for the feather. Okay, motion to move Bill 001-2024, the 2024-2025 Appropriations Act, to second reading as independent schedules. Whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature has the authority under Section 512C of the Constitution Act to enact Tsawwassen laws, and whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature under Section 24(2) of the Financial Administration Act must approve the annual budget, and whereas under the Legislature Rules and Procedures Manual, Section 25, each bill must receive 3 separate readings, and whereas the Tsawwassen Legislature finds it constructive to consider each schedule separately during second reading. Therefore, be it moved that Bill 001-2024 proceed to second reading, and that each schedule of Bill 001-2024 be reviewed, debated, and voted on separately during second reading.
Hajka, do I have a mover? Tehuilam, Legislator Tehuilam. Do I have a seconder? Legislature Marianne. I will first ask for a show of hands for in favor, and then ask if there's a dissent, and then I will ask Legislature Andrea Kwiakwia for her vote. All in favor? All right. That was all hands on deck for that vote. Legislature Kwiakwia? I'm in favor. Hajka. Thank you so kindly. That motion was passed unanimously, and we have now moved the Appropriations Act to second reading as independent schedules, as we find that it's easier to manage, debate, any types of conflict, and allows us the opportunity to really dig and dive deep into each of those separate schedules. This concludes our work for tonight. This is really just the beginning of the real work that's to come. But we had to do this work to get it started. We may have a few longer evenings ahead of us, so don't get excited that we're finishing earlier tonight, because we might have some longer days ahead of us. But before we get into those longer days, we have a weekend in front of us to do the things that we need to do to rest and to enjoy our family. Remember to take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones. I appreciate your dedication to this table and to the work that we have to do. And I again want to extend my gratitude to staff for all of the hard work preparing this so that it's meaningful and easier for us to read and understand. We are formally finished our business for tonight. Haichka Elder Castania, Haichka to Wapio and Kukimasot for drumming, Haichka to Ryder for coming back and doing such a great job of keeping us orderly, and to legislatures for waiting. There was no fines tonight for anybody speaking out of turn. Thank you for Mark, for your presentation, for the affirmation ceremony. It was good to meet our new staff. To the elders that were present, to the advisory council members that are present, to members that are viewing on in person and online, and any other guests that are attending. There will be a ceremonial procession for leaving. However, I think that we might have to second I think that we need a ceremonial drumming, and we're doing Slahal game here to see who's going to be drumming us out. So I see that Yal Juanis Tehuilam is going to grab the legislative mantle drum and is going to drum us out. Haichka, OCM, meeting adjourned.